You're live!
Good morning. I am so excited to be here in nErDCamp 2022 hybrid style, which is going to be interesting, I have no doubt. My name is Melissa Taub. I am the current president of Castle, and I am very thrilled to be part of an amazing team that you see represented. We all love our Bitmojis. We have lived through the craze, and we still like it. I don't know, were any of you part of the Facebook group that had like 500,000 members at the time during COVID? It was like all the rage, so. But we're still here. So this is our real faces. So if you see us around, I think most of us are here in person. Deborah is the author that kind of helps us with the author perspective. She couldn't be here in person, but she should be on virtually, Deborah Friedman. So Jenny Lucier, back there. Sorry for you on camera, you can't see her, but you can see her face on the screen. Barbara Johnson, who needs no introduction. Katie Gordon, who we are so excited. She didn't have to do her gymnastics with the scheduling this year because we've learned that hybrid is a little bit easier in some sense. We don't have to have everything planned before. Shannon McNeese, our Canva queen. She is in the district that I am in. I'm so grateful to be able to work with her every day, and we make a pretty amazing team. And I want to give a shout out to Dave St. Germain, who can't be here today, but his daughter's getting married. So he has a really good reason, and he was the person who kind of organized the stuff last year on the back end for StreamYard, and now Barbara is our guru for that. Why are you looking at me?
I'm very nervous about it.
Oh, she's fine.
Failure is not.
If you can see and hear us, put something really nice in the chat online. Val V. Lorenzo, where did you end up? Over here. Val is a dynamic individual who is the kind of the force behind nErDCamp Junior. She is VP intern. So we have a whole string of people coming. We have the Castle set for a while. Maria's not on the stream, but Maria's involved in every other event that Castle is planning now. And she is future VP intern is what we're hoping, but she's currently the secretary, right? So that's all of us. And just again, we want to start with this so everybody is on the same page. See what I did there? Not very unique, but it's appropriate in this setting. I'm not going to read it. It's there. But I also really, really recommend everybody, both virtual and here in the room, please be active on social media and tag us. We're on both Instagram and Twitter, oh my gosh, and Facebook. And actually, Jenny, we've taken over the AASL Instagram for the day. So if you're on Instagram, like that stuff as well and make that very popular today. So tech help, again, really AKA Barbara Johnson. So anybody here in person, you can go to her or any of us and we can help. We're going to be roaming around. Some of us will be in the sessions, participating throughout the day. And then if you are online, send an email. The email is there, techhelp@ctcastle.org, and we will do our best to get back to you in a timely fashion. Anything else, Barbie, you wanted to add for that, for tech?
So there is a link for a Google Meet, which I am not monitoring right now because I'm standing here at this. But if you're online and you can't get to the sessions or you can't get to the note sheets, there's a link to a help desk that'll be running as soon as I get to that room, and I'll be there. I'll support you guys online in any way that I can. I'll support you here. I am monitoring all the rooms from a secret lair. Yep, from my secret setup, which is also your ultra quiet room if you wanted to do a session and just needed some quiet. All the other rooms, you've got Chromebooks and microphones that are kind of taking up the whole room. We've got HD webcams, and all of the rooms have TVs.
Very large TVs.
Yeah, and they're set to the presenter view. So even people who are online, as soon as they unmute their microphone and start speaking, their picture will, so you won't have to hunt to kind of talk to the people online. And when you start talking here at Colchester, that your picture will become evident to them. If you're here in this school and people are saying, hey, there's a lot of background noise coming from your microphone, feel free to mute. It's a Chromebook. It's sitting at the bottom of the TV. Just don't forget to unmute yourself for the next group or presentation. But I do have that background noise kind of cancellation on. But if you have any technology problems in your rooms here or online, just yell help and I'll unmute myself from my secret lair and I'll be able to jump into the meet. Or if it's a technology problem here in school, I'll come down to the room and help you.
Awesome.
And that's everything I have.
Thank you. All right, so again, just a little discussion about the schedule. So this is what it looked like as of this morning. We have 4 sessions that we are going to be participating in today. The first session at 10 to 10:45 is what we try to do to make the people who are going to be all online have something that they know that they will be a part of. So we organized topics of panels. How many of you have participated in virtual, either last year or the year before? So you know that that was the entire thing when we were on virtual. We had everything organized beforehand. It was a lot of official kind of formal panels and then some discussions. We really want to try to get back to the true, authentic nerd camp model where everything is crowdsourced from the people that are participating and it's not predetermined. So the hybrid this year, we wanted to make sure that people were involved. So we came up with some topics that we knew that educators and librarians and authors and illustrators would be interested in. And then we saw who registered and we tried to plug people in where we thought it made sense. We invited authors to let us know where they wanted to be. If you are sitting in this room and there is a topic that you would really like to be actively involved in, go write your name on the physical paper on the schedule and then go sit in that room. And it's not meant to be a formal panel presentation where you just hear from the people that are listed on the panel. It's a discussion and they might lead the discussion or they might answer questions if they're kind of experts. If the verse novel, for instance, topic, if you have a bunch of really great verse novel authors, they might be answering questions that you might have, and it could be a virtual person that's asking the question or it could be you in person. So again, this is a pilot. So we take no responsibility for anything that goes awry. Just be flexible, be excited, be participatory. What you get out of this day is what you make of it, is my opinion. And if you are really excited to be active, you're going to have a really great day. So the rest of the schedule, we really need more crowdsourcing. We had 177 people register for this. And of those, about 60 said they were coming. And I don't think there's 60 people here, so maybe people will keep trickling in. I don't know. I do hope that the people that signed up virtual are going to participate and we have some really good conversation. But smaller groups are nice too, because then you get to know each other better and there's more opportunity to participate for everybody. So does anybody have any questions? Either in the, I don't know, Barb, I don't think you can see the chat where you are, but okay. So if any virtual or anybody in person have a question for everybody, kind of okay? You all look like a group that's going to go with the flow, which is awesome. So that's great. This is the sketch or the map that I don't think we really need. It's all in the central location, but this is where this room will be open all day. So if you want to come in and we're trying not to schedule sessions in here, but This is an open place where people would be having sessions. But we are here, right in the center. Room 79, where the big black line is pointing. You are there. Yep. And then that's the library. Yep. So that again is kind of like a fun, safe space. We do have a green screen set up in her maker space. So we're hoping people just kind of have fun and like randomly wander in there and take some fun photos and put some green screen. Come in, Alyssa. Come in. Hi. No, welcome. We'll get you all registered and stuff if you didn't. I don't know. You're good. Okay. Perfect. I'm very happy to meet you in real life. And we have all the classrooms are down the hallway. If you just go straight, you'll see the sign down that hallway. And then there's a couple classrooms that are down the first hallway to the left. Susanna Richards, I think I saw her walking around. I don't think she came in. Yep. So she has a room. And so she, like, if people, she's not going to use it. Okay. So she's going to be just, okay. So yes, so Susanna's here and she's going to do things. So then that's another
I've only read 1,000 books this year so far.
Congratulations.
So that's another quiet space then?
Oh yeah, because we have tables set up. It's a very large room.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
But I think we can just increase what's in everybody else's room and other things like that. However, anybody who wants to come to my house this summer, we have to get another 5,000 kids' books out of my house. Ask Melissa.
Yes.
Is it true?
Yes, it's very true. Very true. All right, so that's kind of, just ask us if you're not sure where something is. Bathrooms are down just past the free books, and the keys are hanging like in the little whatever. So just unlock it, do the deadbolt, and then put it back. And then the 4th grade wing has the student bathroom, so lots of different lots of different options for the laboratory. All right.
Remember, free is your favorite word and free book is your favorite phrase.
Yay! Yes, and we do have a few carts and a table out there of giveaways, a combination of places where they came from, some from my house, some from Barb's contact, gave a whole bunch of books that are newer ARCs, and then we have a bunch of the old CT Castle Reads copies that we've had circulating that are now out. So please take them, read them, share them, tweet about them. Okay, I gotta speech stuff up. Flipgrid. So if you are an author, we have a few of you who have already recorded. This is always a really cool way to reach a wider audience. We keep this on our website. We keep it active. I know that I have used some of the videos throughout the year when I do book talks in my middle school library. So you still have time. This is ongoing. For the participants, you can respond to them, ask questions within the Flipgrid. So that's the QR code is there, and it is on the website as well, I believe, right, Jenny? Okay. One thing that we have done with NERDCamp is the first year is supposed to be in real life. Didn't happen. And we had wanted to have people bring books to donate to students in Connecticut, like in areas that have book deserts. So what we tried to do when we pivoted with that, we just, in your registration, NERDCamp is always completely free. You do not charge for NERDCamp. You should not have to pay. But we said, if you want to donate a book to a student, you can donate $15. And all that money goes towards something that we did through Castle is a diverse book grant that librarians can apply for. We haven't chosen the winners yet. We have some people that have entered that grant. We had 8 winners last year. They got $500 each of diverse titles. We have a winner in the back, Christina Rosa, right? Did I say your name right? Yes. Christine Rosa. And we are very happy that this year, even with lower enrollment, we have raised so far $720. And if you didn't donate, but you would like to donate, we have that link open so that you can still donate, and that's where those books are going to be going. And I'm closing, Barb, so I'm only a minute or two behind. So has anybody read this book yet? Do you know me? Oh my gosh, nobody? Add it to your list. This is actually a companion/sequel. Of course, Susanna is in here raising her hand. And it's by Libby Scott and Rebecca Westcott. And Libby is actually a teenage, I think now, autistic girl. And she co-wrote this book based on her own diary. So it's very authentic from that perspective. And I want to, I have hashtag Melissa's Golden Lines on Twitter. And so every time something speaks to me, I always tag it and keep it. So it's kind of like my file cabinet of just things I want to remember. So this is what I'm closing with. So my challenge to each of you is to connect with somebody new today or strengthen a relationship you already have with somebody in this room. If I've learned one thing from my time in quarantine, and aka this was from a speech I did about hope to the New Hampshire school librarians in March. So this is where this comes from. It is that staying connected to those who fill me up and bring me joy can prove to be very challenging, but it can make all the difference. I would like to close by sharing with you some wise words of Tally from Do You Know Me? So this is what Tally said at the very end of this book. My mom told me once that some people are like radiators and some people are drains. It took me a long time to figure out what she was talking about, but now I know. Always try to be friends with the radiators. These are the people who bring you warmth and make you happy. Don't waste your time on the drains who suck your energy away. Those people can choose other friends who are right for them. You should always choose who you want to be with and not just wait around to be chosen by people who might be a good match for you. So have a great day. I hope to meet all of you in real life and have really good conversations. And I'm done. Yay. Well, and actually, while Barb switches out, do you want this as a, no? Okay, you need this, right? So we have a very special guest that has come to NERDCamp Connecticut, the president of AASL, the American Association for School Librarians, Ms. Jennison Lucas. And she has to visit certain states while she is president, and Connecticut was one of her states this year. So we're very happy that she's able to join us, and I'm going to let her introduce herself a little bit more, and I'm going to turn it over to Jennison.
Thank you. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that looks like my slides.
Yeah, we'll just restart to make sure I did everything.
I have a really hard time just starting to talk and then I miss all of my slides of things I'm supposed to say. So.
Twitter right after. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So,
It is so nice to have Barbara do this for me.
I'm gonna go to make sure we're going.
yes.
There we
There's
go.
your word right there.
Excellent, thank you. All right, so this is the presentation that AASL has asked me to give at all of the places that I've gotten to visit. So there is only one AASL. Of course, we are that one. So to give you a little bit background on me, I'm Jennison Lucas. I am the current president of AASL, and I come here from Cody, Wyoming. And it's been really interesting to discuss this role in my home state because my students have been getting a lesson in what's the difference between a country and a state. They're like, you mean for the whole state? I'm like, no, the American Association, American. And then I meet people on the street or in my organization, my state organization, and they're like, but I thought you already were the leader in our state. American, this is how it goes. But my husband is going to join us at the very end of the day. I think he has worn a special t-shirt for everybody to see when he gets here. Sometimes he's like me, sometimes he's not. This is one of the times that he's like me. And then I have a 9-year-old son who is staying with his grandparents so that my husband and I could do this trip on our own because yesterday was our 27th wedding anniversary. So trying to kind of keep all of that going. So I really want to thank Castle for letting me come to this today. It's actually extra special the more I've thought about it. So first of all, I can also say that there's some fantastic news out of Connecticut, that we have, it's Newington, is that correct? Newington that has gotten their library position reinstated.
Yes.
So yay for Connecticut. And another reason that this is really special to me is because I was in Connecticut, in Hartford in 2013 for the AASL National Conference, which was my very first time attending an AASL conference, my first time speaking at a national conference. And as I told Sylvia Norton, the executive director of AASL, this is where I got sucked into AASL's clutches because that was only 9 years ago, and this is where I am. So I'm super excited to get to celebrate that here. So as a chapter of AASL, and you being here, you already know how important organizations are. Having your friends that you can actually step in and meet with. And as I was watching everybody saying hello to everybody else today, I was gladdened by that. Okay, we're back in person. Some of us are not quite, but isn't it great that we can be with our virtual friends too? And that being able to be together part is what AASL is all about. There's something extra special about going to an AASL conference. And then when you go and you see people from AASL at ALA later, they say hello. And when I started this journey in Connecticut, my son was 6 months old, and he had only been living with us for 4 months. Of that, we adopted him. And it was one of those situations where my proposal to speak had been accepted before I knew I was going to be a parent. I can tell that story later if you'd like. But then it was like the next time that I saw people, they were asking about me and my son by name. This is who AASL is, and this is who you are as members of Castle. And so we already have that good reciprocal relationship, and it's that relationship that really matters. As most of us found out when the entire world closed down in 2020, that we missed our people. And we missed the kids at our schools, we missed the fellow teachers in our buildings, we missed being able to talk to each other in person. We got so incredibly sick of Zoom that we really were like chomping at the bit to get to come back. Okay, so every school librarian is a leader. If you don't think of yourself as a leader, right now is when you need to change your mind. Because you lead in your buildings, you lead in your classroom, you lead for everything that you are working with. And it took me a long time to learn this lesson. This is why the first half of my career, I was not really involved in organizations. I was a member because I was supposed to be a member, but I didn't see myself as a leader. I was just me. And still today, I'm like, who am I to be the person who gets to speak to you guys? I'm just a librarian from Cody, Wyoming, and we are that, but that's not a just, that's a powerhouse place for us to be. And so keeping this in mind that you are a leader, and every learner needs to have a school librarian, which is why I'm super excited that in Newington they've kept that position. The American Association of School Librarians empowers leaders to transform teaching and learning. We are those leaders that get to transform. And so that's one of the powers of being able to be here. I have never actually attended an ed camp before, so I'm really excited to get to enjoy this one and see how it works, because I really want to take this idea back to my people. But a volunteer working group was appointed to develop this mission statement. And I was super excited to be invited to that because, who am I to help with the national organization? But during our discussions, we identified 3 things: that the role of the school librarian is evolving and changing. School librarians are guides to transforming learning and teaching and new technology. And a few weeks ago, I was interviewed, I think it was EdTech Magazine who interviewed me. And they asked, so what is it like for school librarians to have learned all of this technology and switch to this online environment? And I said, you're misunderstanding the role of the school librarian. I said, we're the ones who brought the technology to the schools to begin with. We are good with this. All we had to do was figure out how to reach kids when they weren't in our building, and that wasn't hard. We were the ones that got teachers there. I'm kind of like, wow, this is a great time to talk about what we actually do in our buildings. The essence of school librarians is teaching and learning. It's all about information, and it doesn't matter what package it came in. We were there when it became microfiche. We were there when it became CD-ROMs. We were there when it became the internet. We were there when the internet merged into crazy. And, here we are still. And so we are working with leaders, and we love being able to be part of that. So standing together, how we can do that. We have 3 ways of being able to keep connected. One of them is our monthly town halls. If you have not gotten to participate in those, I hope you will next year. This is something that has come out of the pandemic that we have found to be extremely powerful. So every month we have Zoom meeting town halls that are usually led around a specific topic. But it's not just the presenter or panel that speaks. We have it open with questions that everybody can actually weigh in on what they've done or ask questions and things like that. And we've had some fantastic discussions on there about things like Black History Month and book challenges and just how do we get our kids reading again, and all kinds of different topics. So those have been really good. We do have an AASL member forum on ALA Connect. So if you are a member of AALA and AASL, you can join into that, and it's basically just a discussion group platform. And then we also have the shared knowledge. I'm working up reading that. We have sections of AASL that are free to join if you're a member of AASL. One of them is ESOLs, that's the educators of school librarians. ISS is the independent schools, and SPVS is supervisors. So all of those are important. And we've also just launched the communities of practice, which are not up on this slide, but we have 5 communities of practice, which are groups that you can join into. They meet on the Connect space as well. And they are talking about equity, diversity, and inclusion, and a few other things that I cannot remember and do not see written in my notes. Because my notes here are telling me that they're coming, not that they're already here, but you'll be able to find them. Because, you're librarians, right? Other ways that we have to share knowledge are the Knowledge Quest journal that's published 5 times a year, and the KQ blog, which is very updated. There's several posts that come out every week. And then the school library research, the SLR, I did not realize that this was free to members of AASL either, but it's available through the ALL platform. So I'm just realizing that I can get in and do that. I have learned so much this year. Other ways that we can share our knowledge is that we have a smart brief, which I think you actually have to sign up for. It is the school library smart brief, and you can sign up and it comes to your inbox once a week, I believe, that gives information about things that are going on in libraries around the country. And we also have the AASL Digest, which you should be signed up for if you are a member. That should have been an automatic sign up. And it comes out once a month with different things that are going on in our organization. And then we also have the Friday forecast, which you should be getting if you are a member of AASL, and it's just the list of things that are coming up with links as appropriate. So today's sessions are all on there as well. So we also have some activities that happen around school libraries. Of course, April is School Library Month. And in September, we have a band website awareness day that are sponsored by AASL as well. And, leaders are learners. That's why we're all here today. I think that was kind of an interesting thing. And AASL is your community. I cannot tell you how much happier I am in my professional life now that I am a member of AASL and an active member, knowing that I can turn to people, that I can talk to people. I have people's numbers in my phone that I would never have gotten before, that I can call and ask questions of. The confidence that I have has just grown tremendously. And I noticed that when I applied for a new job 5 years ago, and in a district that had let me go 7 years before that. And they asked me why I wanted to work there. And I said, because I've watched you run the library program into the ground for the last 6 years, and I think I'd like to fix it. And they hired me. But I figured that, I would never have had the confidence to say that without AASL at my back. And knowing that I know my national organization, I know what they mean, I know what they stand for, and I know that if I have questions, I can call any number of people to back me up and to get that information. Unfortunately, 4 years later, I'm still the only school librarian in my district. I'm in charge of 7 schools, but there doesn't go by an opportunity to talk to an administrator where I don't say, and won't it be nice when we have school librarians in every school? They laugh at me, but they hear it every single time. Okay, so this is the ALL, is the learning library, and you can go in there to find all kinds of professional development. There's some webinars in there. There are the past issues of Knowledge Quest are in there, the school library research, all of that is in there. Okay. And here we have Knowledge Quest again. This is really important. Okay. Oh, national conference. Anybody here got to go to Salt Lake City this year? It was so cool. It was a very small gathering because we, of course, assumed it would be, because we were the first group to pop out in library land and actually do it in person. But in all of our discussions up to that, it was so important that we be in person, that we were not willing to negotiate that away, because we felt like we really needed our people. Now, the weird thing about that was that we were like, we've got to go back in person. It's been so long, we've got to go back in person. It wasn't until we were there that we realized that our last conference was also in person. We only do this every 2 years, but that 2 years was like 150, you know, because we're like, we're so desperate for people. And so it was a really good group. Our next one is going to be in Tampa in 2023. We hope that you can all make it to that. Start putting it on your planner. Start looking at the information about how to convince your administration to let you go. When the conference proposal requests come out, think about what you might want to present, because one of the reasons I got to go to my first one was because I was presenting, and it was really hard for my administrators to say, no, you can't go when you've been asked to present at a national conference. That kind of looks good for us. So, you know, you do have something to say, even if you don't think you are, because you're all leaders. You have things to share. And so that will be October 19th to 21st in 2023. Okay, ALA stands for School Librarians. AASL is a division of the American Association of School, or of the American Library Association, sorry. I did just have to explain this to somebody in my community the other day. I don't think he was very thrilled, but I live in a very rural area, and ALA is currently being a little bit vilified in my area because these ALA librarians, who knows what kind of things they're going to teach our kids. But we all know that it's a national problem. But the Office for Intellectual Freedom has been fantastic and has been keeping track of all of these things. If you haven't seen the ALA numbers, usually there's about 300 books that are challenged in any given year. And last year it was over 1,500. And the numbers still just seem to keep climbing. And this is a national, as we all know, a national coordinated kind of thing, and OIF knows, and they have been overrun with people asking for interviews and stuff, which is why I have gotten into a lot of that, because it turns out that I know a little bit of something about school libraries and book challenges, as I'm going through some of them myself. So we all have that in common. The Public Policy and Advocacy Office is charged with following and influencing legislation, policy, and regulatory issues of importance to the library field and its public. And we now have 4 school librarians on the 10-person policy committee. So I'm pretty excited that we can kind of share that out. Oh, and then we also have, ALA has started the One Voice, building a library ecosystem. And this has been a proactive way of talking about the fact that all libraries go together. So we need to be working with our public libraries and our academic libraries and our special libraries, and they should be working with us. And all of us stand for the same basic core values. And so they're talking about how to build that into an active relationship. And there's a lot of things in ALL about that as well. And then, of course, we have our national standards, which by now everybody should be familiar with. So I won't spend a whole lot of time on that. However, if you do have questions and want to ask, I am very familiar with the national standards. Previous to being on the board, I was the chair of the standards committee, so I'm pretty well versed with all of these. One of the things that I will say that I really like about this is the shared foundations, because when I took them into my superintendent, when they first came out, it said, you know, I said, look, it's inquire, include, collaborate, curate, explore, and engage. And he said, whoa, that's kind of what we want our students to be able to do when they graduate. I said, yeah. Don't you think we should incorporate this a little bit more? I said, and then we go through them all with think, create, share, and grow. And that's exactly what school is all about. So it's a really nice way to be able to talk to our administrators about what we do. We offer a variety of publications on topics essential to the library professionals. We have an entire series of books on the standards. Not all of them are published quite yet. I think we're still waiting for 1 or 2. And then we have collection development for school librarians, social and emotional learning, and all of these books that are being published are tied to the standards so that they will show you how they fit into the standards. So we're becoming very organized and coordinated. Okay. And then the standards, of course, are created by the field, for the field, so they're created by other school librarians out there and ready to go. And these are some places that have either adopted them full on or have modified them a little bit to be part of their state standards. You can purchase some of these. I purchased the learner's guide online or in a pamphlet form and give it to all of my administrators, and I have it on hand to hand out to teachers when I actually start getting to collaborate with them. And it's a really powerful tool to be able to say, here, I'm going to share my standards with you, and then your standards all fit in with mine. And as part of being able to do that, I'm now going to be presenting in December at the National Council for the Social Studies with one of my social studies teachers on how our fight to save democracy might be ruining our, a fight to save democracy may be ruining our constitutional republic. He's been teaching me the difference between democracy and a constitutional republic. The standards portal has tons of information that you can access and print out without having to purchase it. There's lots of posters and all kinds of things that are on there. The standards portal is standards.aasl.org. Okay. And then, of course, professional development. Everything that we do fits together. And I have discovered in this journey that I absolutely love professional development. When I first was in Hartford and I sat in a group with Doug Johnson, and he was sitting right next to me, learning the same way I was, it was a real eye-opener to me that, whoa, these people that I read their stuff and learn from are doing the same professional development as me. And then when I sat in his concurrent session later, it dawned on me that our ideas were juried at the same time. So it was like, oh, wow, this is like a whole new world opening. But it's definitely important for us to get together, which of course is why we're here today. And so in conclusion, we want you to know that this is kind of where I'm just going to stop this presentation, that this is your AASL, our AASL. If you are not a member, I encourage you to come and play with us. I encourage you to sign up to be on committees. It doesn't take nearly as much time as we think it does. And, you know, you don't have to jump right in and fast track yourself to the presidency, but if that's your plan of life, you know, feel free. We'll be kind of moving that on a little bit. I'll just kind of going to flip through some of the rest of these slides. This is our AASL Board of Directors. As it currently stands, in a couple of weeks, this is going to change up a little bit because we have new people coming in. You should be familiar with our guiding documents of our strategic plan, where we're working on leadership activation, education policy and research, and our core values. If you want to get involved, there is a get involved form online so that you can go on and very quickly kind of add into that. But one of the best ways to get involved is really to start with your state organization and be involved in CASEL, jump into committees, and whenever somebody asks for help, jump in and offer a few hours of your time, and pretty soon you'll get to run it all. And it's fun to get to do that too. It is a lot of work to be an official leader, but it's also really fun. And then of course, AASL has a whole lot of awards and grants. If you go on and take a look at our page, they do not get as many applications as you think they do. So don't be afraid to nominate yourself or colleagues for some of these, because we want them to be given out, and we want them, we can keep them longer if we are able to actually give them out. So you are worthy of these awards. You do amazing things, even if you are thinking that, of course, I'm just doing my job. You are doing an amazing job. And I haven't even met most of you yet, and I know that you're doing an amazing job. So don't be afraid to sign up for the awards. We are working on the Distinguished Service Fund. This is an award that has had to change a little bit because it's no longer funded by a sponsor. So we've been collecting some money to help to try to make it self-sufficient. There's information online about that. Also, you can buy your swag. This is something I did not know until a couple of weeks ago, that we have the bit.ly/AASL merch that you can go on and order this, and they make it as you order it. So you can get your swag, and all of the money for it is going to that Distinguished Service Fund. So this is kind of a fun way to get some AASL merchandise as well. And then if you haven't made it to join your National Library Association, you can do that by mail, fax, or online. Most of us, I think, do everything online. So that's a nice option. And we are headquartered in Chicago. They have a new building, but nobody's actually working in the building yet. And this is really kind of interesting to me because we've been back in school for how long? With some of us with kids that, you know, still wipe their noses on their sleeves, but AASL is still working from home and ALA is still working from home. So there is only one AASL. We're the national organization for school libraries, and we would really like you to come and play with us. And I'm looking forward to getting to spend the rest of the day playing with you.
All right. Yes. Thank you so much, Jennison. Hopefully all of you learned a few things you didn't know about AASL. So a couple of announcements before we kind of move to the first session. So the first session again is all really hybrid for real. There's official topics and you can find the topic you are interested in, go to that room. There is a book truck on the premises. And there's very few of us here, so we all need to go visit and at least say hi, even if you don't purchase anything, but I highly recommend purchase one little thing. It's from Riverbend Bookshop. It is from Glastonbury. How many of you have been there in person? If you have not added to your list, it is such an adorable independent bookstore, so visit them outside. Lunch will be on your own. Hi, I didn't see you come in, Janae. Sorry. Lunch is on your own, but there's lots of places locally, Barb promises, so you can run out plenty of time. That could be a time to visit the bookshop or the bookmobile. If you want to try to order something to have ready, I don't know, we'll figure out a way to get information.
Yeah, so just down the hill when you came in, if you go out the parking lot and take a right down the hill, there's fast food, there's pizza restaurants, there's
Dunkin'
sandwich
Donuts,
shops,
people
there's
saw.
Dunkin' there, there's a Wendy's, there's a McDonald's, there's a Family Pizza, there's a 3 different pizza shops down that way. If you take a left out of the parking lot and then a left again, that's the other side of town where there's more restaurant-y places, but like Subway is down the hill. They do online ordering and have it ready for you. And
Yeah.
you need ideas for lunch.
Yeah, let us know. So we have 45 minutes in the schedule.
Do you have a microwave?
Yes.
We brought lunch. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Barbara has everything in her office.
And there's a beautiful courtyard. It's gonna be a beautiful day.
Yes.
You can eat in the library. I just asked, maybe just not in the classrooms. I promised the
Oh.
teachers I would, maybe just not. There's plenty of room for us. There's just a few of us
Yes.
here. But we set up tables all everywhere, and in that room 120, there's tables and chairs. Again, outside, library, there's.
And outside in the courtyard, Barb made the furniture, FYI. So
Oh.
Barb is multi-talented.
Wow.
Yes, you don't even understand. And something else that Barb and I have been doing is we have been making some literacy-inspired crafts in different contexts. Some of you know this from social media. So I have little bags that I make that are all book-related for the most part, but then also Schitt's Creek, because I love Schitt's Creek. So I actually have a couple people that I think I have in my little bag that I made connected to a book that you have written. And I'm still looking for like ponds for chess for the verdigris pond. So whenever I read a book, I think about what would like represent it, and then I try to find fabric, and then I just make stuff out of it because it's fun. So I have a bunch of those that are available for purchase, and a lot of that goes to my book habit that I buy and then I give away for various things. So find me later if you're interested in learning more about that. And I think make sure you do take books from the free cards. We want to make sure a lot of those go, so those are out there. Any questions? Yes.
No, I was just gonna say, any questions, if you're online, please feel free to put a question in the comment, and if you're in-house, please feel free to just ask your question.
Yeah.
And that will give us about 15 minutes to get everybody into
Set up,
rooms, and I'll
yeah.
walk the building and get tech help open.
And those of you who are watching right now that are online, just be patient that we need to, I don't know, we need to let everybody in, right? Unless they accepted the calendar invite.
Yeah, I am gonna go to my secret lair
Yep.
right now. There's a panel in this room, so I just need to push this equipment forward and grab an external speaker. Then I'll be in the secret lair in about 3 minutes to start letting people into their virtual rooms. But that'll let people here kind of find their.
Well, and if we're in the room, we will be able to let them in as well, won't we? Won't it pop up on our screen and we can, yeah.
I am logged in everywhere in
Yes.
this building in like 6 gajillion Chromebooks. So
Yes.
please feel free to let people in the room. However, maybe refrain from sending any, I don't know, emails.
Anything that Barb would send
Yeah, well, that
inappropriate.
gives you a lot of leeway.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So,
Whatever
okay.
you-
Well, thank you. So yeah, and again, if there's anything else, check out the board. People have added a few things. We've adjusted the times when they're happening. So take a photo of it. It's digital as well. And if you have any other ideas, add more ideas if you would like. So, all right. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Hi, live people. Hi,